What's going on, everybody? It's your buddy, it's your pal Spaz Phoenix, the YWC Reality Check, and this is Road Signs. But this is a very different episode of Road Signs. I'm actually, contrary to my last two vids, I'm not coming up here tonight to try and piss more people off. Really wasn't my intention to begin with when I started on my whole thoughts on Daniel Bryan and the main event picture in WrestleMania. I want to be clear. I have nothing against Daniel Bryan. I have nothing against Daniel Bryan fans. I get Daniel Bryan fans. As much as I can, anyway. Your guy is in the top spot, your guy is getting the silver platter, and you guys are excited about that. I get it. I don't begrudge you that. I really don't. I don't begrudge you being happy that your guy is getting what he wants. Conversely, you are getting what you want. In fact, I have a confession. If you see me pause for absolutely no reason at all, it's because the one side of my jaw is just really sore. I've got something wrong with the muscle right here. So if I'm a little mumbly, or if I stop unexpectedly, it's just because this is really sore, guys. I have a confession. I am a huge Jeff Hardy fan, for those of you who don't know. I confess to all of you that they could announce the main event for WrestleMania. Batista could be in the ring. Randy Orton could be in the ring. Out of nowhere, the lights could go out and Jeff Hardy could miraculously be the third guy in this match, win this match, and I would be ecstatic. My guy won the belt. My guy won the day, etc. As a Jeff Hardy fan, I would be ecstatic. I would be on cloud nine. I would be, here's a cliche that fits, painting the town red. But there's a difference, and I get it, and that's what Daniel Bryan fans are doing right now. Their guy's winning, their guy's getting his comeuppance, their guy's getting his big victory, he's walking away with his prize, and they're going to go paint the town red because they are that excited about it. I get that. I don't begrudge you that. I don't begrudge Daniel Bryan that, for God's sake. He's one of the best wrestlers in the WWE right now. He's one of my favorite wrestlers in the WWE right now, especially with CM Punk gone. But if that happened with Jeff Hardy, I would be ecstatic. I wouldn't care about the logic of it, but it doesn't mean that it would be logical. It doesn't mean that it would make sense. And that's what I'm saying to the Daniel Bryan fans of the world. Go, cheer your heart out for Daniel Bryan. I hope he beats Triple H. I mean, I will be incredibly amused if Triple H wins the match and he ends up being in the triple threat match for the title at Mania. But here's the thing. Cheer your guy. Be ecstatic when he wins. Be ecstatic if he wins the belts. Be ecstatic as a fan whose guy just won. But don't sit there and ignore logic. So what I've done is this is not meant to be argumentative, this is not meant to piss anybody off, this is not meant, once again, to shit on Daniel Bryan, or the Daniel Bryan fan base, or the yes movement, or whatever cliche you want to use. This is simply 10 points to better, better explain my point of view. Is that fair? Now, some of these are points that I want to make, and some of these are my counterpoints to the points that other people have made to me. Deluxe Man. One of my favorite people here to collaborate with on YouTube. Haven't had a chance to do it in a while. We've done podcasts together. We've done collaborative videos on his channel, on my channel. Have a lot of respect for the guy. One of the biggest Daniel Bryan supporters you will ever meet in your life. And I have a lot of respect for the guy. But a couple nights ago, I had just finished talking to my former co-host of the No Holds Barred show, Steffi Sunshine, hop onto Facebook, and ended up having an hour-and-a-half long debate with Deluxe Man about Daniel Bryan that took me to 3 o'clock in the morning. Now, I don't mind. Not saying Alex is any kind of bad guy, or not saying that I could, go a night without sleep or whatever, but it really got me going, and the more I got into this conversation with Alex, who I will give all the credit in the world to, the more points I came up with for my own point of view. So again, some of these are points that I just want to make. Some of these are counterpoints to points that people have given me. And once again, not trying to get heat, not trying to troll anybody. I'm not wrestling Jesus. This is not a thing. Strictly to explain my point of view on the Daniel Bryan thing. Holy shit. And hopefully this video is going to be short because my jaw is fucking killing me. And I know anybody that doesn't like me, oh, Spaz's jaw hurts, I wonder what he's doing. Anyways, go ahead, put it down in the box below, show how immature you all are. 1, plain and simple, Daniel Bryan did not win the Royal Rumble. Daniel Bryan did not win the Royal. Points 1 and 2 kind of relate to each other. There's two ways to get to the WrestleMania main event. The first way is to become the #1 contender. The way to become the #1 contender for the main event championship match at WrestleMania is to win the Royal Rumble. He did not win the Royal Rumble. Now, as Alex and I'm sure many other people will tell you, there's a million other ways that people have come into the main event at WrestleMania. What's one? Rey Mysterio defended his title shot against Randy Orton at the pay-per-view in between. Randy Orton got title shot instead, and Rey Mysterio still got stuck into the match. That didn't make sense. Vince McMahon won the Royal Rumble one year and then lost that title shot to Steve Austin. That did not make sense either. Why I'm saying this and why this is so important to me right now, especially now that they've finally done what they were supposed to do and gone back to one world title, it should be cut and dry. You want to be the #1 contender, you want to go for the title at WrestleMania, you win the Royal Rumble. That's it. Point 2. Daniel Bryan is not the champion. Excuse me. Randy Orton is the champion. There's two ways to get to the main event at WrestleMania. Be the challenger, which means you win the Royal Rumble, or be the champion, which means you win the championship before WrestleMania. Daniel Bryan has not done either of those things, guys. It's simple. It's really, really simple. None of the things that would have to happen for Daniel Bryan to be in the main event at WrestleMania have happened. Now, everybody's saying, well, at least there's some storyline. He's not just being thrown in there randomly. He's in a #1 contenders match with Triple H. Now, that's fine. Triple H is a big name in the WWE. I've been procrastinating and expounding on that for weeks and weeks and weeks. Daniel Bryan should be happy that he's going to face Triple H at WrestleMania because Triple H is such a big name and it's ultimately going to do a lot for him to beat Triple H. But what you're saying to me, all of you, or Daniel Bryan fans, yes, movement people, whatever, is that beating a slightly past his prime part-time wrestler, full-time executive gets you to the same spot that winning a 6-man hardcore chamber match does and winning a 30-man over-the-top rope Royal Rumble does. Royal Rumble is billed as, this is how you punch your ticket to the main event. Elimination Chamber is, this is your last chance to get into WrestleMania. You're telling me that two pretty rigorous matches, and I know everybody's going to say, well, Batista came in late in the match. Yeah, well, you know what? There's people that have won the Royal Rumble match from 30, so get over it. Batista won a 30-man match, and Royal Rumble is one of the more prestigious events of the year. Whether you like Batista or not, have some respect for the event and its place in the year. Same thing with Randy Orton. Now, you might not like, oh, it was booked badly, it had a bad ending, da-da-da. Regardless, on paper, Randy Orton went into the Elimination Chamber against 5 other top superstars and came out on top. Now you're saying that Daniel Bryan, who didn't do either of those things, wasn't even part of the Royal Rumble, was defeated in the Elimination Chamber, deserves to get the same spot as those two guys because he beat one part-time wrestler. Number 4 is the logic that he deserves to be in the title match because he wasn't in the Royal Rumble. You know what else happened at the Royal Rumble? He lost to Bray Wyatt. Just saying. But the problem with this logic is, I'll give you an example. You got The Miz, you got Dolph Ziggler, and you got Alberto Del Rio. For example, Alberto Del Rio and Dolph Ziggler have a #1 contenders match. Dolph Ziggler wins, which means Dolph Ziggler goes on to face Randy Orton. Now, with The Miz, who's my boy, who I could back up the same way you guys are doing, would The Miz have any right to walk into that match and say, well, I didn't get a chance to be part of the #1 contenders match, so I'm just naming myself the #1 contender? Because of things completely unrelated. I didn't get a chance to be the #1 contender, so I should just get a title shot instead. No. 5, people arguing with my video that I made a week ago where I proclaimed that Daniel Bryan is worse than John Cena. Now, let me be clear. I am not comparing Daniel Bryan in character, in build, in wrestling ability, in personality in general, in psychology, selling, endurance, paying his dues. I'm not comparing him to John Cena in any of those realms because he's untouchable in those realms now that CM Punk is gone. The way I'm comparing him to John Cena is simply the way he's being overbooked at WrestleMania. If he walks out with the belts, he will have put down 3 WWE main eventers in one night and walked out with the belts. John Cena has done a lot. John Cena has not ever sequentially steamrolled 2 matches in one night and taken out 3 main eventers. The most he's ever done is win 1 and beat 2 main eventers. Daniel Bryan is being overbooked more than John Cena. That is where my mentality came from in the video from last week that I'm getting so much heat for now. Because it's true. Cena beat 2 guys in 1 match. Daniel Bryan is going to go in there, beat 3 guys in 2 matches, and walk out with twice the gold. That is more overbooked than Cena. That's just a fact. You don't like math, but you can always count on it. Moving on. Daniel Bryan deserves everything because the fans cheer him like crazy and they participate in his chants. Now, how can I go with this? So, Ryder should be a world champion because the woo-woo-woo thing was crazy for a while. According to the Raw after WrestleMania last year, that means Fandango should be a #1 contender for the World Heavyweight Championship. R-Truth, every time he does What's Up, should be a #1 contender for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. The Usos, when they say Us, what do we say? Exactly, proving my point. So should the Usos be thrown in as a unit into the World Heavyweight Championship match because the crowd participates in their chants? And let's see, what's before there was yes, before there was no, what was there? There was what? And what was Steve Austin? And Steve Austin was a phenomenon. Steve Austin was a juggernaut in his time. Even Steve Austin did not steamroll 2 matches in one night, bury 3 main eventers, and walk out with all the gold. So he's being booked more than Cena. He's being booked more than Austin, and I know you guys love to compare him to Austin, but I'm sorry. Daniel Bryan, for the phenomenal superstar that he is not Stone Cold Steve Austin. And in all the ways that we're glad he's not John Cena either. He's an amazing, this is the point number 7, he's an amazing in-ring talent. Here's the deal, so is Tyson Kidd. Where's his WrestleMania main event? Where's his 2 WrestleMania main events? Cesaro is either going to get a tag team title shot or be buried somewhere in the Andre Battle Royal. He's a phenomenal wrestler. Where's his double main event? Where's his, bury 3 people and walk out with gold? Benoit. And I can't say Benoit, but I'm going to. Who can we, okay, in-ring wise, who can we compare Daniel Bryan to more than Chris Benoit? The Crippler Crossface is basically the yes lock. Let's get over that comparison. The headbutts, the submission styling, the hard style that he wrestles and all that. Daniel Bryan, without the suicidal and homicidal tendencies, is this generation's Chris Benoit. That's just a fact. Benoit had a great moment at WrestleMania where he got to hug Eddie Guerrero in the middle of the ring at the end of the night, and they both had championships and whatever. But he didn't steamroll 3 main eventers and walk out with both of those belts. No, he won a match, went home with a belt. So did Eddie. Look at that. More than one person. More than a one-person show. Same can be said for Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle had phenomenal matches in his time with John Cena, with Shawn Michaels, with Brock friggin' Lesnar with the botched shooting Brock press, which was awkward. But I still didn't see anybody pushing for Kurt Angle to win 2 main events in the night, bury 3 main eventers, and walk out with all the gold. I really didn't. I really, really didn't. He's, okay, point 9. He needs to win. He deserves to be in this match because he's better than Batista. Now, I was interested to see what would happen when Batista came back. He's not phenomenal. Let's be real. He hasn't done anything incredibly offensive either. He's come in, realized people don't like him. His character is heel. He's an asshole. He's good at being an asshole. That's what he's doing. Simple as, But, he's better than Batista. Lots of people are better than Batista. Lots of mid-carders are better than Batista. Again, I'm going to go to guys like Sandow, Cesaro. I would even say Swagger is better than Batista in the ring. Guys like CM Punk. Guys, there's a lot of people. Randy Orton is better than Batista by a country mile, let's be honest. Still, none of those names, and I'm going to get repetitive, have gone into WrestleMania, been handed 2 main events, buried 3 main eventers, and walked out with all the gold. Also, little side note on this one that just makes me laugh. Emma on NXT is becoming her own little juggernaut on NXT. She started using a powerbomb, and when she started using the powerbomb, the NXT crowd purposely chants to her, "Better than Batista." Now, if your logic for Daniel Bryan being in the match and deserving to walk out with everything is that he's better than Batista, does that not indicate, by that flawed logic, that Emma, the NXT rookie diva who gets better than Batista chants during her matches, does that mean that Emma deserves to be in the World Heavyweight Championship triple threat match at WrestleMania 30? I'm just saying, guys, I'm honestly not trying to be condescending to you guys, and I know if I am, or if I'm even slightly becoming condescending, somebody will tell me down in the box below, and I welcome it. But when you give me a point like that, I have to point out, the rest. Shawn Michaels is better than Batista, but even Mr. WrestleMania has not been handed 2 main events, buried 3 main eventers, and walked out with all the gold. And I'm sorry, once again, all due respect to Daniel Bryan, who is a fantastic talent, but Daniel Bryan is not Shawn Michaels. It's just a fact. Number 9, and this is something that I love so much. Why is it so easy to get behind Daniel Bryan? Why is it so easy to get behind Daniel Bryan? Because he's the unlucky, downtrodden, against all the odds underdog. And he's good at it. Trust me. Trust me. I look at Daniel Bryan and I almost see Eric Young. And I don't mean that in a bad way, because I like Eric Young too. But you see this guy, looks like he could be Eric Young's twin brother. Looks like he could be a reject from the Wyatt. Wait a minute, he is a reject from the Wyatt family. But then he comes in, proves himself, he's a phenomenal wrestler, it's all that. And it's that unexpected amazingness, that underdog story that makes Daniel Bryan who he is. Now, at the risk of being nail-bitingly repetitive, what happens to his poor little boy underdog persona when he goes to WrestleMania 30, wins 2 main event matches over 3 main eventers, and walks out with all the gold? Now, finally, number 10, and this is where a lot of you thought you really had me. This is where y'all looked at me and said, you know what? We're gonna catch Spaz. We're gonna call him a hypocrite. We're gonna call him every name in the book. We're gonna sit there in an argument with him and say, yeah, we've got him now. And I call it the Ziggler argument. The Ziggler argument of holding 2 belts at once and pulling double duty at a pay-per-view. And it's true, he did. He beat Zack Ryder to either get or retain the U.S. Championship, and beat somebody along with Jack Swagger to retain the Tag Team Championships. So let's see. He curtain jerked with Zack Ryder and went immediately from over the U.S. Championship, and then immediately went into a tag team match defending his titles with a partner in a partnership that nobody gave a shit about. They were the 2 curtain jerker matches on a B pay-per-view, and they were for mid-level titles. I don't have a problem with somebody pulling double duty. I don't have a problem with somebody showing their diversity like Dolph Ziggler did. Hey, I can be a single. Hey, I can be a tag. Hey, I'm not going to take up the whole show. There's a little bit of a difference between that and walking into WrestleMania 30, winning 2 main event matches, burying 3 main event talents, and walking out with all the gold. I'm sorry, I've laughed a lot in this video. I've hit the point over the head more times than I care to count. As I said, I don't mean to offend anybody. The Daniel Bryan fans out there that are loving this right now, go ahead and love it. But just, if you come to me with how much you're loving it, tell me how much you love it, but don't try to tell me that it makes sense. Lots of things in wrestling that have happened that are awesome don't make sense. Austin and Tyson having their little fist fight before WrestleMania 14. If that was real, that would have been broken up by security like that. Austin driving the beer truck into the arena, he would have been arrested. You know, what's his name? Yamaguchi-san attempting to cut off Val Venus's penis. Again, would have been arrested for bodily harm and all that sort of. Lots of things in wrestling have happened that don't make any sense, and that's fine. You can enjoy them. They're fun. A lot of them are fun. A lot of them are funny. A lot of them are the ones, because you're not analyzing it so much, that are more fun. And I don't begrudge you that. Daniel Bryan fans, enjoy your time. You never know when it's going to end. Take what you can get. If he takes the night, I'm happy for you. I'm happy for him. Just don't try to tell me that it makes sense. Just don't try to tell me that it's logical. That's all. Anyways, I've been Spaz, your YWC Reality Check. I hope this gives you a little bit more broader perspective on my opinion on the Daniel Bryan situation. Maybe you don't think I'm so much of a dick now. Maybe you do. Throw it down in the box below. Don't be a stranger. I'll talk to each and every last one of you later, but for right now, I'm tagging out. Bye.